Are you on the lookout for some satisfying sights out in the world? While it's no surprise that there are plenty of things which can make you go, that was oddly relaxing, you might need to venture out quite a lot to find them. But don't worry, we've made it a lot easier for you by compiling this list of 29 things that you won't be able to take your eyes off of. So grab your favourite chair, lean back and enjoy all these oddly satisfying things from around the world. Before we dive in, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe and click the notification bell for more amazing content. Looking for a new face mask to add to your beauty routine? Maybe this strange mixture can be part of your new beauty pack. It might not look like much in the beginning, but after just adding a few drops of water, this mysterious mixture turns into an elastic face mask. If not for skincare reasons, it still looks like a lot of fun just to play with it. If you wished you could touch those fluffy clouds up in the sky, maybe these interesting-looking plants can be a close substitute. Known as thuja, a type of coniferous plant, these puffs of green foliage look like a perfect natural mattress to sleep on. Look at how the breeze is making them jiggle like those Japanese cheesecakes you see on the internet. Probably one of the most satisfying things to watch is how a glassblower crafts various glassware. Look at how it beautifully coils over, almost like candy. Molten glass is so flexible that it stretches like delicious caramel. Being a glassblower is no easy task either. You need a powerful set of lungs to blow hard enough to create these beautiful vases. Let their puffy cheeks speak for themselves. Ah, sandcastles. Takes you back to the time where summers were spent on the beach with the family and friends. You pour your heart and soul and sand into these creations, only to be wiped out clean a moment later by the crashing wave. This pro certainly has a unique way of creating his sandcastles, and it looks so satisfying. If you enjoy a good caricature, you might want to check out this artist at Brother Moto in Atlanta. Corey Mars creates some interesting caricatures of customers who visit here, and she does it right on the glass window. What makes it even cooler, she does it without ever stopping in one single line. That's pretty darn impressive. Her subjects certainly look entertained as she draws their caricature right over their face on the glass. The hypnotic work of a wood lathe. It's the pottery-making equivalent of woodwork. See how a block of wood slowly gets chipped away into these beautiful shapes. The finished product is so smooth and shiny it's hard to imagine it came out of a block of wood. I could watch this all day. The incredible metamorphosis of a monarch butterfly is something so alien yet so beautiful. The transformation from a gross little caterpillar building a cocoon and living inside it to later emerge as a beautiful and colourful butterfly is quite a sight. Thanks to the work of scientists, we can enjoy this miracle of life without having to look for them out in the wild. If spiders are not your thing, you might want to skip this one. We're looking at a spider molting, or in other words, shedding its skin. But it isn't as simple as just shedding skin. The spider also replaces or rebuilds a few of its internal organs as well. This process can also help the spider regenerate any lost limbs after a couple of molting sessions. After molting, the spider is very vulnerable, since its exoskeleton is still delicate and it takes a while to harden completely. Now you know their weakness. How do companies manage to remove pits from thousands of berries before they go into package? Well, like this. This machine processes large amounts of berries and dumps them neatly into these honeycomb pattern molds. Later, a special press squeezes the pit out of every single berry. The tool that pushes out the pit varies based on the berry being used. Looks awesome. Check out these crazy wall clocks. At first it might look like those wall clocks at the airport showing times of different cities in the world, but in fact it's one single clock. Each hand moves in a certain pattern and finally settles on one which shows the present time. It looks so artsy that it might not be so effective as a clock, but more of a showpiece. If it looks like something you would like to hang up in your home, you can find it in the English city of Durham or even the New York Museum. Do you hate just peeling your fruit? You probably do. This neat little device is the perfect solution to never peel an apple ever again in your life. It's a combination of a peeler and a cutter and produces these stringy apples ready to be eaten. Thanks to this device, you're more likely to eat more fruit and skip out on candies. Just look at it. The sight itself is rewarding. Michael Scott from The Office never gets old. This artist wonderfully recreates the scene where Michael discovers that his arch-nemesis Toby made his way back into the office after a short hiatus. The charcoal portrait manages to perfectly capture Michael's frustration really well. What you're looking at is 47,000 square meters of concrete foundation being laid down for an upcoming warehouse in the US. If you have an OCD personality, these meticulously placed concrete blocks probably will win you over. The concrete is flattened using a laser level, so there's no question of uneven surfaces. It's incredibly perfectly flat. There's no surprise when it comes to pastry. Everyone loves a good muffin or a cake, but what makes it even better? Watching it being baked in time-lapse. This user documented the process of a dough rising in an oven, and it looks spectacular. If you're getting the munchies right now, then this video has served its purpose. Want to see how the universe was made on a piece of paper? This clever artist uses various shades of acrylic paints to create these cosmic masterpieces. He uses a small mold and places it on the center of the canvas. Later, he fills it up with different colors of paint. The result? These trippy-looking paintings which are out of this world. They're so abstract that you can derive your own meaning for them if you want. Fireworks, one of the most beautiful creations made by humans. They make you forget everything around you in those few spectacular moments of display. The pyrotechnics show hosted at the Burj Khalifa in Dubai is unlike any other. The entire 2,716-foot building is shooting out lights of all colors into the night sky. Hard to top this sight. Time-lapse can make almost anything interesting. Take this mushroom for example. It blooms into a fully grown mushroom right in a matter of seconds thanks to time-lapse. Photography tip number 1, use time-lapse to up your photography game. We got another video for all the OCD people out there. This path has seen better days. Grime and dirt from years has made this pathway less than pleasing to the eyes. But thanks to the power of a pressure washer, these cleaning guys managed to make it as good as new. The way the pressure removes the layers of dirt is oddly satisfying. If only we had such powerful washers at home. What are these odd-looking creatures sticking out of the sand? Well, these are razor clams, and they can be dangerous underwater since their shells are sharp. Luckily, they aren't troublesome on land. What makes them so precious is that they're considered a delicacy, and what you're seeing is a way of catching them. These clams dig real deep into the sand, and one easy way to get them out is by pouring salt into these tiny holes. The clams can't handle such high concentrations of salt, and it disturbs their cell membrane, and hence they try to escape by popping out. What a strange yet interesting way of catching these fellas. You can make art out of anything if you've got the skill. This talented artist manages to create something beautiful using just an ordinary wire, a small toothpick, and a bottle cap. He coils them around the toothpick to create these spring-like shapes, which later turns into foliage of a tree. The end product is this cute little copper wire tree perfect for your home. Natural hot springs are known for their medicinal properties, and what you're seeing is one in Tibet. Due to the presence of different chemical elements, it gives the hot spring different colors. You can see someone boiling eggs in the mouth of this bubbling hot spring. Boiled eggs are probably a good snack while you soak in the goodness of a hot spring. Has anything been cooked as fast as this thing? Watch as this woman places these transparent noodle-like sticks into a boiling pot. It quickly rises to the surface, fully cooked. It barely took any time. What you have is the crispy noodle which might be faster to cook than your regular instant ramen. Fascinating. If you've seen enough cooking shows, then you know how important presentation is. Food tasting good is just half the process, the other half being how well it cooks on the plate. This master chef brings his own twist to presentation. It starts with frying the stem of the noodles and then fully immersing the entire batch, and later garnishes the fried noodles with sauce and vegetables. The final result is this beautiful Japanese fan-like delicacy. Impressive. Nature sure knows how to produce some beautiful works of art. This is the Icon Hot Spring in the Qinghai province in China. It's also called the Devil's Eye, and you can see why. It looks like an eye staring right back at you. The sulfur present in this water gives it its unique bright shades. The landscape around this hot spring is so reminiscent of Mars, which is probably the reason why there is a Mars modeling base near to this hot spring. Bread being baked smells great, but even seeing it made is something to be appreciated. Watch as this man prepares this naan bread with such skill. He flips it around in the air over an open flame to bake it. Later, he generously lathers it with fat and garnishes it with various spices. To top it off, he expertly tosses the bread over to the kitchen. We don't have to tell you why ducklings are so cute. Watch this brood of ducklings scattered across this duck farm. Later, they find themselves a nice lake to swim and relax. If you ever feel distressed by daily life, feel free to come back to this clip and watch your stress slowly melt away. No one can resist these adorable birds. If you want to see extreme driving, then this submerged bridge in the Liangyonggang Prefecture might be what you've been looking for. Yes, this is an actual bridge which is well used even when it's partly underwater. These extreme drivers know how to traverse it quite well. How to escape quicksand? Well, it's almost impossible without someone else helping you. This guy seems to have found a quicksand on one of the beaches in Chicago. He starts stomping and jumping on it, and you see the sand flowing like jello underneath his feet. Probably not a great idea to tempt fate around these things. Just look at another quicksand discovered by a group of construction guys. Luckily, they didn't get themselves stuck in there. If you were to ever come across these transparent globules near the beach, you'll be surprised to know that they're real living creatures. Known as sea gooseberries, a Setanophora species, they are truly out of this world. Though from looking at them they might seem very primitive, they in fact have a very complex nervous system and an organ which helps with orientation in space. You might be wondering if they're dangerous, but they're not. You may enjoy the beauty of these incredible animals without any fear. Those were some unusual things which were probably a lot more satisfying than you expected. Which was your favourite? Let us know in the comments, and while you're at it, be sure to smash the like button, share and subscribe, and we'll be back with more. See ya!